We're back, people. We are back. It was just a blip. Winning 2 games in a row was just a blip. Absolutely horrendous performance. Another 3 goals conceded. Didn't deserve anything out of the game. But let me just start by saying, let me get this out of the way quickly. The match officials, the VAR, the referee, absolutely disgraceful. It's just embarrassingly bad. Everybody, every single fan, and even Man City fans will admit it. That was a perfectly good goal from Van Dijk. Donnarumma, he's not obstructed. He can see the ball. He dives. It's a great header. It's into the bottom corner. Andy Robertson is not interfering with play. The goalkeeper is never getting there. And the most frustrating thing is, as I say, every single fan, every single player can see that that is a perfectly good goal. But the only ones that are in charge of the decision are the only ones who think that it wasn't a goal. And that is just bizarre at this stage. And we've seen it so many times. We've seen it down through the years. You look at one replay and you say, no, that should be given or whatever. And the officials are the only one who disagrees. And a couple of years ago, I don't think it was last season, I think it was the season before, Manchester City ironically had a goal given against Fulham where a player actually jumped over the ball, but they decided, no, he's not interfering with play, and the goal should be given. It's the consistency, people. It was an embarrassing performance, but that was an embarrassing decision. But as I say, Liverpool overall didn't deserve anything. I can't figure this team out. I cannot figure this team out. I was hoping that we would look back at the Brentford game and say that was the turning point in the season. I was hoping that we'd look back and say, right, that was the moment that Arne Slot said, right, things have to change. And he changed it against Aston Villa and he kept the team against Real Madrid and we were all delighted. We're saying, right, this is Liverpool's team now. This is the team going forward because we're tough to beat. And it was just horrendous today. From the very first whistle. There was no control in the game. The intensity was so poor. I mean, Man City's first goal. Man City have the ball at their own corner flag. And Liverpool just let them out. And it was just so poor. Do something, lads. Foul them. Do something. And it ends up at Núñez, who has the freedom of Manchester to cross the ball. Andy Robertson or Florian Wirtz do not get out to him. He's allowed to cross it. Konate had one of his performances today that we know he's capable of. The thing about Konate is, if he makes a mistake early, which he did for the penalty, his head is gone. If he makes one mistake early in a game, he's likely to make 10. He was terrible in the first half. They all were. But the shocking thing for me was, after watching them against Real Madrid on Tuesday night, the lack of intensity today. And that's what Man City, under Pep Guardiola, down through the years have struggled with. They've struggled with a team that absolutely hounds them, that presses them non-stop. And it was non-existent today. Absolutely non-existent. McAllister had one of his best games on Tuesday night. I forgot he was even playing. That's how poor he was. Szoboszlai was terrible. His passing, especially even in the second half, just terrible. Mo Salah again. I mean, I was just so disappointed. Conor Bradley is the only one that can really hold his head up. I mean, Manchester City's tactics were just get the ball to Doku. And I thought Conor Bradley, okay, look, Doku did beat him a few times, of course, but in the first half especially, look, Doku is, he beat him a lot, but he didn't really do anything after that. And I thought Bradley coped with him okay. Now, the penalty, Marmadashvili needs to stay on his feet. I don't know why he's going down. But the point I'm making is, Bradley was coping with it, but everyone else was just so poor. Just so poor. That midfield, there was no control. And the first half, there wasn't even 10 minutes where you're thinking, right, Liverpool are on top here. They're winning the ball back. They're sustaining attacks. They're really, if they could get a goal. Man City are under pressure. There wasn't one moment in the first half where you thought that was happening. It just wasn't. And it was just such a poor performance. It really was woeful. They just weren't at it. Second half, it was a little bit improved, but the game was gone. Man City get their goal. I mean, I just cannot figure this team out. I thought we were after turning the corner, but instead it's just back to square one. At the moment, this team is taking 2 steps forward and then it's taking 2 steps back because it's back to square one. The league is gone. We're not winning the league. We're not competing for the league. It's so disappointing. Coming into this season, even though I picked Arsenal at the start of the season to win the league, I said there was too many changes. But I thought Arne Slot was after figuring it out. I thought now we have the midfield back to what it was last season. We've got the back four now is solid. And it was just so poor. It was just so poor. I mean, we got exactly what we deserved. I mean, I cannot figure this team out, people. Just really disappointing. 3-0, it could have been more. Just so many individual performances, again, not good enough. Florian Wirtz is not physical enough for the Premier League. I've said it so many times. He's going to do well in the Champions League, but he's just not able for the Premier League, the physicality in it. We've seen it so many times. I mean, today he was just terrible. You know, the amount of times he was just pushed off the ball. You know, you need to be stronger in those areas. But as I say, it wasn't just him. Soboslai's passing today was terrible. McAllister was non-existent. I thought Gravenberch, even early on, I mean, in the first 5 minutes, he gave away 2 fouls. And you're looking at it, you thinking, this is not going to be good. Because usually Gravenberch, he controls it a bit more. It was just horrendous. It was absolutely horrendous. And as I say, yeah, this is becoming the norm now, people. It was a blip to win 2 games in a row. But unfortunately, this is Liverpool this season. We don't know what we're going to get, especially away from home. I mean, away to Crystal Palace was when it started. Then we went to Chelsea, Brentford, and now Man City. And we have conceded, how many goals? Let me add this up. 2 against Palace, 2 against Chelsea, 3 against Brentford, and now 3 against Man City. That's 10 goals we've conceded in those 4 games. Honestly, we've all tried to figure it out. I'm going live tomorrow at 8 p.m. again. We're going to try and figure it out a bit more. But I just don't know what more to say. We've tried it all. Arne Slot has tried it all. He's gone back to what was working last season, and today it was just embarrassingly bad. We thought we had it. That back 4, that midfield 3, even the front 3. Ekitike was very quiet today. Salah was terrible. Wirtz was terrible. But we thought, okay, with the midfield behind them, they'd be able to just, play their natural game. And it was horrendous. There wasn't one positive to take from that game, which is a worry. It really worried me. That performance worried me today. Look, Man City is a tough place to go. There was no guarantees Liverpool were going to win the game anyway. There was no guarantees we were going to get anything from the game. But you want a bit more than that. You want a bit more than that. You want some intensity. If Man City are going to win the game, at least make them work for it, because they didn't have to. They really didn't. And then, when Haaland missed the penalty, I'm thinking, okay, maybe it is going to be our day, because Haaland doesn't usually miss penalties. Maybe it is going to be our day. But yeah, it was 2-0 at half time and it was game over. I mean, just really disappointing. I honestly don't know what's going to happen from here, because I thought we turned the corner and then we're back to where we were. So yeah, hopefully after the international break we can improve, but the league is gone. So unless we win the Champions League, the season is over. But yeah, that's the way it is.